Hello, everybody. August 18th, 2023. I apologize for my voice here. Have a touch of laryngitis, but I'm going to do a video anyway because we've got some important stuff to cover here. So, um, we're going to look at what I said on Monday. Basically, bears were still in control. We were looking for a dip down. In the blue bullish scenario, it was possible we were seeing a wave 1 and 2 of C before pushing down to like that 27, mid 27 area. And if the bulls could defend that area and give an impulsive bounce, we might go up to 40 or 50. However, we've always been looking for this. If bears can push it down below 27 and sustain it there, we're going to look at those sub 25k levels instead. And if you recall, just a few videos ago, I talked a couple times about how this very much looked like it was going to do a Bart Simpson pattern, which we saw back in the 2019 lows as well. Again, I apologize for laryngitis here. All right. So, good news is this pretty much puts the blue scenario to bed, that we can take off the chart, which is good because, it really actually didn't even hit that target that I was looking for, which made me kind of wary of it anyway. But here you can see that Bart Simpson pattern, right? Kind of that spiky head and then straight back down. So that's what we're dealing with there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove blue because that's not working out for us. Okay, get rid of that, get rid of that. All right. Okay, so we are pretty clearly, let me zoom out a little bit here. Best case scenario, pretty clearly in the yellow, which I made mention of previously multiple times, that it's possible, because we only touched the very top of that yellow box, that it might want to do a WXY and come down a little further in that yellow box. And that could still be bullish, but again, it relies on this being a leading diagonal because we have a three-wave move here, A, B, C, up. So I'm not super convinced of the bulls case here, but if the bulls are going to take over, this is where they're going to do it, somewhere in this yellow box, and then we push up again from there. Okay, and then we could form a larger WXY or leading diagonal up. Okay, so that is a possibility. Now, it is also quite possible that this is all just part of a correction upwards in this red 4 that we have, and we're actually going to start dropping even more down to 10k or even sub 10k levels. That's certainly a possibility with the action that we're seeing. So I'm not 100% saying this yellow box is going to hold, but it's pretty much the bull's only chance at this point in time. So let's go over that sort of in the micro, what we might be looking for. This looks a little bit more like a C wave, honestly, than a Y wave. So I'm going to count it as 5, but just know, this is either a WXY or an ABC. A little bit hard to kind of tell the difference between the two, but I'm just saying because this looks right now like it could be doing a 1, 2, this might be 3, and we might get a 4 and a 5 down. That could conceivably be a C wave then to finish off yellow wave 2, but again, I'm not fully convinced by that at all. But I just want to put on here what the targets for that should potentially be so that we can keep an eye on it. So we're going to draw a fib backwards, assuming that's 3 and that's 2. And I'll label this here in a second. Wave 4 bounce area is right here. Bounce and rejection. So we've already gotten up into that zone. We may push up higher. Kind of unclear right now what it wants to do. And then target eventually, again, if this is 5 waves down and wants to end in the yellow area here, target is right here, basically 23.4 to 24K. And so that is going to be, in my opinion, the bull's best chance, unless somehow it breaks above this 0.5 fib right here, which is 27.6. So if we can get above 27.6, remove some of this other lines here. If this can somehow get us, 5 waves up above 27.6, it's possible the bottom's already in. You can see we did hit that yellow box at least, but it would make a lot more sense to actually break this low before it wanted to bounce, if it wants to bounce. Again, I'm not convinced. I'll be waiting for proof either way. All right, so labeling this in yellow would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put that as yellow. Okay. Let's move this down a little bit here. Okay, so generally that's pretty much what I'm watching for. Either 5 waves up now would prove to me bottom's already in, or hitting this area, coming down, 5 waves up from there, then I would look potentially to buy a pullback after that. But in the absence of seeing 5 waves up, at some point, I'm not going to be doing any buying, right? Because this could very easily continue downwards. It could even be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could get a corrective 3-wave bounce and then see continued downside. That is certainly possible. And that can take us, as I said, to some really deep levels. I mean, it could go, again, under 10K pretty easily with the chart, the macro chart, how it looks right now. So just going to have to continue watching, all the short-term action, and that's going to determine what I end up doing here. Let me just go into like 5 minutes and just see. I don't really see any way that would be 5 waves. It looks like an ABC to me. ABC. But to be fair, this also looks like an ABC down. So potentially this is A, B, and maybe a larger C up, but it doesn't have to be. It could just drop more immediately. This has already entered that zone there. So I am short. I'm holding on to that short. I've taken some profit off it already, but I'm holding a bit of that short for the possibility that this just continues bleeding downwards. Yeah, I don't really see 5 waves anywhere. Maybe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC down. So that maybe lends some credibility to the thought that it could go up a little bit more. Let's just play with that and see where resistance might lie, if that's the case. For that to be an ABC up, I mean, that brings us right up to about 27.6 anyway, potentially. So it could, like I said, it could make a move back up towards that resistance area, but as long as it's below 27.6, I'm going to expect that it continues downwards, even if this does pump a little bit in the meantime. Again, not 100% convinced by that at all. I'm not planning on longing this personally, because it could just continue bleeding here. All right, I think that pretty much sums it up. So I will talk to you again. Hopefully my voice will be back by Monday, and I'll give you an update with whatever the weekend brings at that point. All right, everybody, have a good one. Talk to you then.